What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all that are out there. I hope your day is about as prosperous and blessing as my day has been. It is now 6 p.m. or a little after 6 p.m. at in the evening, and sitting here in Durham, another city in South Africa that we find quite interesting. Beautiful people, the landscape, the terrain, the beaches. I'm telling y'all, what a breath of fresh air to see our beautiful brothers and sisters who be out on the beaches, which you don't find in damn Erica. Put the D in front of America, capitalize the E. You don't find us on the beaches in mass numbers. Now, let me say that again, because see, some people have a hard time hearing. In mass numbers, you do not find Black folks, African Americans, Negroes, whatever you want to call yourself, on the beaches enjoying what is rightfully ours, the sun. Now, we do see our so-called counterparts, Europeans, that really enjoy the sun. And the interesting thing about it is that when they go on the beaches, they are Black. What did you just say? Go Black to Africa? What did you say? White people, Europeans, who go to the beaches, when they go to the beaches, they become Black. Somebody explain to me that. For those who have been following me, you already know what I'm talking about. You see, sometimes if you don't have the ear to hear or understand things because you have a lack of knowledge, then you will be lost in the things that I speak be from my perception. Come on, somebody, tell me what I mean. When white people go to the beaches, they become Black. Thank you very much there, A Show. Let me put this up here. See, and Judah, Sue, 12, A Show, Sosha, Ashosha. See, we know that our people are waking up. We know our people. When I say our people, those who look like me. We know we're waking up because we are under this illusion that things are supposed to be certain ways when we have been told we're a certain type of people, we behave in certain type of ways. But when you really get down to the nitty-gritty of things, our likeness have been won by those who don't have the benefits of melanin, have to create something to become Black. When you see whether it's spirituality, taking it out of the motherland of Africa, turn around, switching the story, and then they call it Christianity, then we see that we believe that it's them. You know, they give images and stuff that you're not supposed to even be doing according to the ancient writings, the scriptures, and the scrolls. But yet we follow sometimes those who we believe are the right way, and we are the wrong way. So when I say that, yes, it is beautiful as the landscape of Africa. When I see the beaches and the mountains and the terrain, I can see why so many people want to come and try to take land when they have a lot of land out here that's still vacant, and many people are trying to come in to enjoy what we know in America. All beachfronts are gone. This is where the money goes. People want the views of the ocean. People want to be on the beaches, and people in the interior of the country will go thousands of miles away to go to beaches and spend lots of money. People go around the globe. Europe comes to Africa, either to Gambia, either to whether it's Morocco, whether it's going to Tanzania, whether it's going to Mombasa, these coastal countries where the beaches are, people spend thousands of dollars. Now, the interesting thing is that you would think Africa would wake up and say, yo, before we sell or rent any land that's on the beachfronts, we're going to make sure that we have our city, our people, to be able to have these business structures on the beaches. Because this is what most Europeans seek out. They leave their countries during the winter to come to Africa to come get the sun. to come get the rays, which is not there in Europe. I've traveled there. I've lived there in Germany for 4 years. The sun rarely is shown because of the cloudiness, the climate. And this is why even South Africa is very attractive to Europeans and those who coming from countries maybe that they find that here it's cooler. Yeah, it gets cold here. To me, it gets cold. It has some sun, some cloud casts that is very attractive to many people that comes from the northwestern countries that are there in Europe, that they come down to these places and like, whoa, this is kind of like back where they come from. But we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty of this conversation. Africans and Black diaspora. It's time to wake up out of the dream. And if you see where I put on my thumbnail, I was out in Durban, over in a city. What's the name of that city? Let me hold 1 second. Let me get the name of the city. South Africans, y'all that down here in Durban, y'all would let me know. Let me see here. It was Oh, it's called the Umglanga Umhlanga Glanga, Umhlanga, that area there. Went out there today. Went out there today. Me and my wife went out there, wanted to go check out that area there. It was a couple people said go check that area out. And we went out there and kind of walked on the beach, got some pictures and stuff. And that picture you see on my thumbnail that I have of the thank you, Mo Africa, that I had there. There was monkeys who were running to the trash cans to eat food. And let me share you this is how the Most High deals with me. When I start to see things and things are put into perspective to show me how this world system is. Now, people get upset if you make mention of the systems, their countries and things and how things are. The Messiah said, "Do not love this world, for it hates you because it hated me." That means that anything that is done to how the hatred towards people are, I don't care if you're white, black, brown, orange, yellow, green. If you see the hate because of standing up for what's right, and then people come up against what is right, then you know it's the world that loves its own and don't want nothing to do with the righteousness of the Most High. But as I'm walking, me and my wife, we came by this crash. We walked past these trash cans, and then I was like, "Babe, look, a monkey." And then this vision came in my mind. These monkeys are in a inner city that was built. The monkeys were there way before that the building came, but these monkeys are there. And these monkeys, it was a lot of them, but a lot of them were across the street over in the trees. But there were some who were coming across to get food, coming out of their elements, feeding off of a city that was constructed. And and what I heard in my spirit was, wow, interesting. And this is what I was shown. Now, stay with me on this, because there are people who get upset because when I start to speak about a system that's been put in place that has nothing to do with the Most High, because people feel as though that they got in, became successful in the system, they're doing for themselves, they're taking care of their families, they have become dependent upon the system, they become part of the system, and they need the system. And anybody speaks against that system, boy, they will rise up. Isn't that true when you read that in the scriptures? When Christ was talking about the system, there were those who came after him. Matter of fact, killed them. Follow me on this, family. Now think about this. The monkeys who was always been around for tens of thousands of years, always knew how to take care of itself off of what was provided by the Most High, the trees, the fruits that exist here on the planet. But because of development, civilization that came in, it happened to tear down trees, get rid of maybe some of the food sources that the monkeys were eating, and civilization came in. And what we know is the cities came in, and now the monkeys have less resources to feed themselves. Now, isn't that interesting? Y'all got to stay with me. You better be doing a parallel of what we're talking about. We who were Africans in a country, a continent, or a region, or a space, when it was civilization came in. See, let me go ahead and say civilization, because some of y'all are so addicted to the system that if I say European, some of y'all get upset because you have become the mindset of those who have the civilization, and you are so attracted to those who's come in and created civilizations that you get upset when somebody talks about that. So let's just keep it with civilizations. The civilization came in. The idea from those who were outside of continent saw an opportunity to bring in what they felt would be beneficial to them to come and start a civilization. And as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the monkeys that are eating out of the trash can because of their natural inhabitant or the habitat have been taken out, removed by big, tall buildings, that the monkeys are dependent upon the trash that is being given out, that's being thrown away, which the monkeys think is pretty good. And they're sitting there eating out of the garbage. Now, so that y'all can get a picture of what I'm talking about, let me show you the video that I took. I'm going somewhere with this, family, because you have to look within yourself to ask yourself, am I dependent upon the system? That even though I'm being fed by it, got a job by it, does it make my life any better? Because what is better? There were those who felt as though that I was saying something in error when I'm trying to show a picture. Young man told me I don't get it. I don't think he gets it. I don't think he gets it. But I think the monkeys get it. I think the monkeys are in a means of survival, because in their habitat, what they were in prior to civilization coming in, they had free liberty with the trees and eating of maybe the fruits that were in, and eating off of those things that kept them going on and on. But once it was moved out the way, they became dependent now because of less food resources that are there, that they have to scramble to go work and open up garbage cans to try to get food to eat, because there's just not enough food to eat. Are y'all with me? Some of y'all's got eyes to see and ears to hear, but there are those who are not understanding what I'm saying. Because the system has put the wolves over your eyes, and you believing that the system have been put in place for you. And it never was meant to be. Because here I am, I'm going to share with y'all this right here. Let me share with y'all right here what I'm talking about, family. Let me show this right here video. Okay. All right. Okay. Look at this monkey out of his habitat. Now, people would say he's eating food. Yes, he's eating food out of desperation, because what? Civilization came in. Civilization came in and removed all of its resources and its ability to go hunt for its own natural food. So it's eating discard, garbages. It's eating probably maybe more bacteria and things like that. But look at the rest of the monkeys that are coming in, eating out of the trash can, which is food for them, and they're going to eat in order to survive. And now many people would sit here and say, well, you know what? The system is good because it's at least the monkeys are able to eat. Now, let me share something with you all for those who actually believe all that. Now, we understand the system is in place and there's not much many people can do. It's here. Why cry over spilt milk when a system is just here? But let me say this right here for many of you all who really believe that this system is for you and all that right there, not saying that the system that you can get in and be able to ride that wave too, to take care of your family and all that right there. I'm saying not putting in your mindset that you become dependent upon the system, just like these monkeys who have to come to the trash can to come get food and eat to survive. Even we think that the system has been put in place for the betterment of the people. This is why I argue. This is why I argue when I go around Africa and I see people live in villages who are not part of the system, who have cattle, who have farms, and who are surviving off their own, who have even no money, little to no money. Now, some of them may sell and to go get money, but a lot of them know that they rather live in a natural form of what it used to be 10,000 years ago and how they have seen that it's more freedoms when it is detached from a civilization that you become so dependent that you have to worry about feeding your own. Now, let's get somewhere with this, family. Let's go somewhere with this. Because when civilization came in, right? Civilization came in. Now there are those right there who don't think that I believe that it's better for people than where it was 20 years ago or 25 or 30 years ago before apartheid. I'm not going to use the word better. If you can use your word better, if it's better. But this is the thing about civilization. So I'm there in that area. Somebody please tell me that area was I in Hunglanga, Dunglanga, Hunglanga. This is where the money is. This is where I was told that this is where the money is. Because, people want to feel proud about their country and say, we've made advancements. Okay, yes. All right. South Africa, hooray, has made advancements and it's created jobs like we didn't have jobs before the Europeans came, like we didn't have no means of being able to take care of our own, like we had no other way of really surviving, and like we're starving out here in the middle of a continent that has so much food with the amount of fishermen that's been around for tens of thousands of years that we can go out into the ocean and get fish and get food and animals that are freely roam and we can eat, like we really were desperate waiting for civilizations to come save us because we were just a helpless people. But this is what happened. Let me share with y'all what happened. So it was those who came into countries and saw that there was an opportunity that suited their needs. And in the suiting their needs, they knew, hold up, we could do something with Africa in these areas. We can create some cities. We can create a civilization and we can develop. But there's one problem. We don't want to do the work. This is a lot of labor. And guess what? If we go back to our country and pull the people out to come here and build this stuff, it's going to cost us a lot of money because they're going to want to get paid. But what we can do, if we want to start the civilization, these people ain't hip to really what the money is and what the worth of it is, because, a lot of the people here in this continent of Africa, they don't work, they don't live off of the means of what money is. But what we can tell them is we can give them money and they can buy stuff. Surely we don't need to tell them they need to buy clothes and food because they already got that. But we can show them trinkets and things that we have, and by the money that they make, they can buy stuff. Follow me, family, because this is the switcheroo of where our mindset is at. So they know that before to bring in civilization, this happened in America, this happened in India, this happened over in China, this happened over in South America, this happened around the globe when Europeans came and wanted to create a civilization. They said these people are nothing more than savages roaming the earth that has no mindset or clue about civilizations. When we were the ones who taught them about civilizations, if you know your history. Hence, when you knew about the Black Plague that infiltrated Europe, and it forced them to go on a journey outside of their confinements of Europe to go find other places that might be fruitful for them to live, because they were dying by the millions, and so this disease infested how they lived and taking their waste, dumping it out of their windows and on the streets and stuff like this, or out of their buildings, was causing sickness. But when they started to come in to areas like Africa, and they saw that many of the people in Africa had a way of living and how to discard waste away from their village and go outside and dump and use or whatever instead of their front door, they learned these things. But when it came time for them to see that, whoa, there are things here that we utilize that these Africans don't utilize. They don't utilize the gold that they saw that we had on our hands and around our necks and all and things that were of gold. They looked at it in a different way. They saw it as a means of getting rich, not a means of using it for whatever means what we were using as far as on jewelry and stuff like that. But so then they saw that the pickings were very high in Africa. And though Africans weren't utilizing the gold and the diamonds and all these things that that the West put monetary value upon, they saw it as a means to take those things and to be able to build themselves more wealth. So they figured in order to get a part of this so-called richness, they wanted to go ahead and build civilizations. Why? Workers and people who are coming, or those who had the money to come and establish cities and towns, they would have to build. But they knew they did not want to go to their own countries to get a lot of the people to come build. Why? Because rich folk don't want competition. I'm going to say that again. Rich people don't want competition. That you would invite everybody from their country and say, there's gold over there, there is diamonds over there, there is this wealth that you can have over there. No, they don't want that. So what did they do? You got to know your history, family, because this is what I'm talking about. The monkey who has been brought out, whose habitat was taken by civilization, is left to eat out of trash cans. And that same monkey will sit there and think, whoa, we got it really good here coming with this food that we don't have to go up in the trees and go get, where we can just go in the trash cans and eat it. But hold on to your britches, my fellow African brothers and sisters. Because this very thing of when they begin to bring in civilization, they told your people, come one, come all, and have a job so you can have money. And we gonna build these civilizations to create jobs. And these high rises came in, these restaurants came in, these hotels came, and all these different things. And you can open up a business. But here was the kicker, because this was shown to me when I saw this monkey. Because this is the beautiful thing about life, is that it's amazing when the light of God can open you up to show you the trickery that was done. You see, these cities that were constructed with these nice restaurants and hotels was never built for you. It was built for those who had the money to spend to come and enjoy it. But they told you they had jobs for you. And many of you brothers and sisters around the world know, when you're working in these hotels, working in these restaurants, what you're getting paid, you can't even afford to stay or eat the food that there is there. Am I right? These cities were never built for you. These cities were built for those who had the money, but they needed workers to do the building. They needed servants to serve the people who would come with the money, who would be able to afford to enjoy seeing the beaches, going on the safari tours, going and having lavish restaurants to eat from. It was never for you to enjoy. Now, for those who argue with me and say that the civilization has brought us and us women great strides and able to launch to greater places because in these civilizations we hold positions that we never held, and even the brothers out here who have their jobs and all of these different things, and y'all call them opportunities, that these are great opportunities that we have and all that, right? Yeah. And there are some of us who do have money and who have used the system to gain their wealth and can probably stay at some of these hotels and eat at the fancy restaurants. But how many? Because when I just saw these monkeys eating out of the garbage cans, out of their own habitat that was taken because civilization came in and removed the beautiful fruit trees and things that the monkeys would enjoy, that been enjoying for tens of thousands of years. Just like the African who was on the land, who had farms and had animals and had the access to the beaches without having to go through the resorts and have to go through the where the rich people have the money to come down to the beaches to enjoy. It was free access. But because civilization comes in and put a dollar amount on certain areas where we were told that only the rich can come in, or color your skin can come in on these things right here, that some of y'all said those days has passed. I've been here on these beaches and I see our brothers and sisters enjoying the beaches. But here's the kicker. Since so many people want to defend the system, I can guarantee you 99.9% of the Africans cannot afford to stay in that Radisson, cannot afford to stay in what I saw, that these places that are for sale for $5 million, $4 million, $10 million, $800,000, that 99.9% of the Africans cannot even afford it. When I go into these restaurants and sit down and I just threw $40 for me and my wife to have dinner, I can guarantee you 99.9% of the Africans cannot afford to just burn $40 to go sit down and eat at a table. So the great system that people think is the great savior for all needed you to come work for those who were coming in with the money in order for you to be the servants for them. But the interesting thing is 99.9% of the Africans out here who work those jobs go right back to their townships and live in them same houses and haven't found a way to even climb up to the middle class, but think it's better. This is the same thing that happens in America. I ain't just talking about Africa. This is the same thing that happens in South America. It happens in Mexico. It happens in China. It happens in. This is the same system that is around the world. But we give the praise to the system, though. And don't talk about the system, because this system's that feeds me. Now, I'm not ridiculing anybody who's attached to a system because you are working. It says in the ancient writings, if a man don't work, he don't eat. I'm saying that those people who are becoming so dependent upon the system, they are willing to die for it. Because the fact of it is that they're willing to die for the system more than they're willing to die for the kingdom of God. And when I say that these things, that I'm like, yo, look at this thing right here. How is it that you want me to accept this system that I see that is in place? When I walk around, when I can live up in those high-rise buildings and buy those $100 plates, if there are those out there, stay in these $200 a night hotels and all that right there, that I should not have to say anything about a system where 99.9% of the people who are the worker bees can't even afford to stay in or eat a plate out of these restaurants. I should just remain quiet and be thankful that the system have given many people jobs. when they had jobs 10 thousands of years or 1,500, 4,300 years before that colonization came in, and we were doing just fine. But I understand that many people who, because the system told you, if you become educated and you get those degrees and you work your way up the ladder, you too can fit into this system. You'll be able to dress better, smell better, look better, talk better. You will be able to behave better, and you will be accepted into the system. You won't be like those little scrabby little Africans running out there that's eating from their hand, not using a knife and a fork, and you're not even drinking out of a cup. You will be better than them. Ooh, and then we get all feeling good because now we feel like we achieve, and we look down at our brothers and sisters because you have not taken advantage of those things that have been put before you because you still want to be in this antiquated way of living. You eat with your hands and you look like a savage and you sound like a savage. You need to speak the local language that they have brought upon us and worship that God that they told us that we're supposed to worship. You should be ashamed of yourself, you African, that you haven't bowed down to a foreigner who's come in here and have made it a beautiful place for us to enjoy. Why, you can drive your Mercedes Benz and your BMW, and you can drive your Audi, and you can live in your high class houses and all that there. You're just ungrateful what they have done for us when we were taking care of ourselves before anybody else came. And yet we ought to be thankful because a system came in place and saved us from this being farmers and being agriculturists and able to have our own civilizations. We ought to be thankful to work for them. As soon as I talk about, hey, let's be our, there's nothing wrong with working for somebody. If you got to take care of yours, there is nothing wrong with working for somebody. But it is a very hard pill to swallow when you are working for someone and you see the change that you get for your pay and you're counting it and you're looking at people who's walking with the things that in the stores that you can't afford and the plates that they're eating off of, and you're doing the serving for these folks that got the money. You mean to tell me you can swallow that pill? It's because of the fact that when the system of civilization came, it never cared for anyone else but itself. It needed to have a place for those to stay. It needed a place for them to eat. They didn't want to eat at your restaurants and little local places and shop at Joe's. No, they wanted to create their own system for them, for those people out there with this money. But yet we don't need our own to come and build it and serve it. We can go ahead and get the locals and pay them pennies, pay them small little money. Because when you go to their countries, look how their people are being paid. Has anybody even asked that question? Hold up, 1 second. You mean to tell me that they brought this civilization here and it is a replica of where they came from? And the people who's doing the same exact work that I'm getting paid here in Africa, China, Japan, Asia, or any other country, Mexico, South America, you mean to tell me this same Radisson that I'm working in and I'm serving and I'm cleaning rooms and I'm sweeping floors and I'm washing dishes, that the people that this company came from is paying their people 100 times more than what I'm getting paid? What makes me different than that person in that country where they brought this business from, where they came from, and you're paying me less than $100 a month? Can somebody tell me the difference? Because what is the difference? What is the difference that even if that the price of that Radisson staying in that hotel room is half the cost of what it might cost over in the country that they came from, can't at least my pay still be somewhere at least half of the pay what the workers there are getting paid. Can somebody please answer me that? Can somebody at least say, where is the fair, equitable pay? Because I scratch my head when I'm in South America, when I'm in Central America, when I'm over in Europe, when I'm over in other parts of the world, when I'm in Africa, and I'm like, y'all get paid how much? I mean, does y'all system, your government know what the employees of these same companies are getting paid in these countries they come from and what they're paying you? Can we look at this a little bit more fairer, equitably? I mean, if the civilization is coming in to feed itself and wants to pay the people pennies, I mean, here's the thing. See, when you talk about Western countries, see, the Western countries already know, their people already know. Hold up, hold up. If we're going to work in your factories building cars, we have to at least be paid where we can buy that vehicle. Hold up. If I'm going to be working in this restaurant, we want to at least get paid to where we can buy a meal out of this restaurant. It, it, am I sounding crazy? Am I wrong when I sit here and I say it is a hard pill for me to swallow when I walk around Africa and I see that I don't care if they're middle class, it's amazing that middle class, even those who have that money, who's considered middle class in the country, will complain about the unfair wages that they're getting paid when it comes to these so-called foreign businesses that are coming in and they're making billions of dollars but paying the people pennies, minuscule rand or shekels or whatever you call your currency. That I will work for a civilization that came in who chose to use the people and say, we're going to give you jobs. They didn't want to bring their own people because they know their people know what is the fair amount of should get paid, because this company is going to be making millions and billions of dollars, what we should be getting paid. But they didn't want to they don't do that. No, money don't want to see, business is all about how much profit you can make. So we will bring in the local people and give them jobs, because I talk to them all the time. You can't afford to stay in the hotel that you're cleaning in? You mean to tell me that what? You're getting paid in 3 months' salary will get 3 months of your salary is equates to one night stay in a hotel. Huh? Am I the only one who can see this? Is that there's something wrong with that? And yet people tell me I can't get it. I can't get it because of the advancements of what brothers and sisters here in Africa has gotten to a place of in the system. And I'm saying, hold up, you don't get it. You don't. It is amazing. See, I thought about what the panel said yesterday, and I took it in stride because I appreciate my brothers and sisters here in South Africa who came at me saying that, go black, you're wrong. You're not seeing it. You're not getting it. You're not seeing what it is that why we say it's better and all that right there. And I say, yes, I do. You don't get what I'm saying. Because every person, I talked to a family who has a maid. They had a person take care of their grounds in the house. This is Black African folks. They have those who watch over the kids. They have every type of position to take care of their household that they don't even have to lift a finger. But out of their mouth will tell you that the system still is not fair. Why? Because they see that the people that are in line where they are have it a whole lot better than them, and they know it's inequitable treatment and inequalities when it comes to that. But it's amazing. Every person, because I took what people said last night to heart, and I said, let me chew on this, and Lord, show me. Where do I stand where I don't see what the people are talking about? And the Lord gave me the vision today about the monkeys. The monkeys' habitat has been taken from a civilization. And these people who don't see what you see believe that the system is better. That the monkeys that came here to eat out of that trash can, needs are being met. But is it healthy? Because just like every person, I'm going to tell y'all, 99.9% of the people I talk to of all ranks of in the financial status quo will always tell me, every time I say, tell me so, I did this today. I said, because some people said, go black, man, you are asking the wrong questions. Okay. All right. What am I asking? You are asking questions that are on a negative level. Okay. All right. I heard you. So today I was asking the questions. Hey, brother, how you doing? Tell me something good about South Africa. Share with me, what's good, where I can go. You show me something what's great or this and that. Ah, oh, it's not good. It's not good. Good. Oh, things are terrible right now. Things are terrible. Okay, I'm trying to get and show me something good. Now, I know that there are things that are good, but people are telling me that I am putting a slant on when I'm trying to talk to people and ask them, hey, what's good going on? We just got here. We've been visiting this, right? We're here now in the city of Durban. Hey, tell us what's good things going on here in Durban, this and that. Oh, brother. Oh, my gosh. It's hard life now. It's hard. Now? What you mean now? Well, how was it better then? Please share with me. Oh, you can make more money. Oh, for real. Okay. Come on, give me something. Give me something. Everybody can agree with that. So you're telling me the system has created a place to where now people are struggling? Why are they struggling? Because just like brothers have told me and sisters have told me, I have bills to pay. And I hope that African brothers and sisters that are in Ghana and these other northern countries will come to realize something. When your economies are starting to embrace companies coming in to give you loans so that you can have your car, you can have your house, and you're going to deal with the stressors of what many now are starting to feel like many of us that were in America, when you have to keep going and going to pay these bills because you stop paying those bills. Guess what? Your life goes, not your life, your things go to the wayside. But I thought the system was better. Because what I like how the African way was is the fact that, yes, we will work because we have to eat. And for those who are wise enough to save little by little by little, they start to get, because most may have some piece of land or something or a place or a house or something that they'll start building. And it may take them 5 years. It may take them 10 years. It may take them 15 years. But at least they will have a house that they don't owe nobody and nobody can come take. Unlike civilizations here today, when you get loans and you don't pay those bills, guess what? They take it. And now you're stressing what I keep hearing. Oh, the stress, the work, you got to keep working. We got bills to pay. Oh my goodness. It's hard today. It's hard. Well, do you know what's so funny? Before civilization came, there was no stress. You get up, you go ahead, you cook your food. You go ahead, you work, you do whatever your work might be for the day. You play with your children, y'all have fun, you sing kumbayas and all that around the fire camps and all this stuff right here. You and your wife get together and y'all have y'all a tickly fun. And then you go ahead and your day, if the Most High has given you another day, you turn and do it again without worry or fret of any type of system that's going to come take what you have. Oh, yeah, the system will cost you, and it brings on stressors, it brings on pain. And just like those monkeys that are sitting there waiting every day for that trash to be put out, because the day the trash now will be locked down because of that monkey became so used over the years of going to that trash can to get fed the system. And when the trash cans are locked down, shut down, like COVID-19 did, was shut down a lot of countries, and now they don't know how to go hunt for their own food, they are in a mess of trouble. Why? Because you forgot that when civilization came in, it took the habitat that you were living in, that you were so used to taking care of you and yours. But when they told you, we're going to build buildings and you're going to be the ones that build them, they never said that you would be able to afford to live in them. And we're going to build these buildings. It's going to bring jobs. We're going to have restaurants and clothing stores and all that right there. But they never told you would not be able to afford those clothing that's going to be in it. You will not be able to afford to eat off the plates that is, and all that right there from what they're going to pay you. But we're going to build restaurants and hotels. You won't be able to afford to stay in them hotels because of that, but you will have a job. So come on in from all of your townships and your villages and come to this place of work. And many are finding that transportation alone sucks up most of their money from getting to and from work. Then if you didn't pack your own lunch and you got to eat, then you got to find the locals that are around that's going to go ahead and create food in order for you to go and eat some food to save yourself some money. And then you get back home and you take your shoes off because you know you had to walk probably a mile once they dropped you off wherever you had, because they don't go door to door. And you're exhausted because really an 8 day of work really turned out to be 8 hour day work. It really turns out to maybe to be a 10-hour day work. And while you sit back and you're just trying to get your mind together and prepare yourself for the next day, you're saying, my goodness gracious, life is pretty hard. And I told the brother today, life is not hard. Life is simple. It's life situations that are hard. And we've put ourselves in these situations because, like the monkey, it's easy right now today because civilization came in and removed all your fruit trees and everything. And now you just have skyscrapers and all these businesses around, and the monkey sits around and wait on the trash. No different than what we do. Civilization is here and civilization coming, and it's brought us, and some people can capitalize off of it if they know how to do it right, but very few, 99.9% of the people don't make it up that ladder to get to places where you can afford that Radisson Hotel and you can afford that $35 plate to eat off of, or you can go ahead and enjoy, what some of these places that are on the beachfront that you can go just look at the view and stay overnight, and it costs you $200 a night. That many of 99.9% of people will not afford that type of living. So it was all a setup of a civilization to come in to serve those who have the money, without having thought that you can enjoy being part of that civilization. You're part of the civilization and it is paying you. But you ain't part of that civilization to come in and live in and partake in it. You just became a servant to serve those who have the money. Sometimes our people who are in the positions of power need to consider the fact that, hold up, if you are here to create jobs, we are going to ensure that the people who work in these businesses can afford the products, can afford the what you are supplying, that they can partake in that enjoyment as well. For we don't want you coming in and making our people just servants. See, a servant and a worker are two different things. Let me break it down for you people who don't understand that. You see, a worker is one who will work a job, get his rightful pay, and can partake in the things that he is working in. This was the whole strike in the unions in America. Yo, if we are to build or to work in establishments, our money that you pay us should afford us to enjoy the very thing we're participating in. Africa and a lot of these other countries, they haven't done right by their people in the aspect of ensuring that these companies who are making billions of dollars can at least pay the people that type of money. Because just like the video I just showed you about the monkeys are happy today they can go in the trash can and eat. Let me show you the video again. I know people, come on now, let's look and see. Does this look right now? Because see, this doesn't look, let's look at it on a spiritual level. Let's remove our emotions and let's look at it on a spiritual level. Is this what the Most High created? We're talking just monkeys. Is this the natural habitat of a monkey? Here come the other ones. Is that natural? Somebody explain to me. Is that the natural habitat of a monkey? No, it's not. Is it natural for civilization to remove one's natural enjoyment of the land and what it produces and brings up for free? Or for civilizations to come and remove and do away with the farmings and do away with the animals and take control of those and then say, you come to the grocery store and buy from us and it's going to cost you this amount of money. I mean, I thought the natural of what was said in the ancient writings that I've given you every tree of bearing fruit and bearing seeds for you to be the healings of your bodies in order for you to be able to live. Now we got these animals and everything being shot up with hormones and these chemicals in order for it to survive its cramped environments where feces and where they defecate on the ground and they're eating in their own filth, and that yet they have to shoot them with these vaccines and these medicines, because before they could get sick, they have to throw them. If they get sick, the Food Drug Administration said you're not supposed to slaughter an animal if it's dead already and sell it. So before it's on its last leg, we can send it to the slaughterhouse because it's disease infected. So we didn't be able to make that money. But see, removing people from taking care of themselves and being dependent upon a system where now you got to go to your grocery stores and you got to buy your food, and you got to foods that's now has genetically modified and have all these herbicides and these poisons and stuff that are put on it that makes us sick, that we got to go there now and go ahead and eat from there, when we have ground and land that we can go ahead and have our own gardens, have our own farms, and eat, eat right. They say that, well, what's going to happen when you have your farm and these these bugs or whatever is going to take at least a quarter of your so-called hard work to the side? That's what you call an ecosystem that's beautiful. Why? Because we know we overproduce food anyway, and all the food that's thrown away. Look at the monkeys that's eating out of trash can. Look how much food we throw away. We kill so many animals and grow so much food that so much food is thrown away. The beautiful ecosystem, yes, there's going to be that there's going to be some plant, I mean some insects and things that's going to eat off the crops. And how much do I need anyway? You know, the beautiful African way is that, you know what, you eat what you have for today. Well, I'm going to buy a refrigerator and put food all up in the freezer and store food when we have what we have for today. Why we got to go ahead and see all this food thrown away because nobody bought it? Waste of animals and waste of farming to me. It's because those who have the money wants to make more money and want you to be the servants. Because like I said, the difference between a worker and a servant is one who can't afford the luxuries of places that they work. A worker at least will be compensated rightfully for his work based upon what the company, the institution, or the place is making in order for them to enjoy it. Hence is the difference. A slave is one that will get paid and unable to purchase anything, as well as can't even get out of the debt that they have put the cost for them to stay where they're staying. Because, you know, there are people that says, okay, yeah, you can stay here on the property, you work the fields, it's going to cost you this amount of money to stay in the house, it's going to cost you this much money if you're going to consume the food. But then you realize that the price that they put on it, that you can't even afford to pay that. I mean, you can't afford to pay, so they keep you in debt, means you can never leave. This was called indentured servants. That's what it was called. I call it still a slave, because a slave don't get paid nothing. A servant might get paid but can't afford the things that where they're working, or to enjoy the things that they build or make or what have you. Is anybody agreeing with what I'm saying? So while many want to protect a system and feel as though it has done right by them, okay, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna open it up 20 minutes or so. Did you find a spot, a place? Um, what do y'all think? Even if you disagree with me, if you disagree with me, hey, let's have a conversation. The link is in the chat for those who wants to call in. Let me know what you think, because we have to open our minds up. I'm not saying like, you know, oh, well, we need to tear down the system. No, I'm not talking about rebel against the system. I'm talking about coming into the new system. That's God's system. So that when you're aware and seeing where you are at today, the ideas and the creativities come to you so that you are not dependent on anyone but the Most High. Thank you there, Black Power. Why don't you go live in the forest and let us know how it feels? I've lived in the forest before. What are you talking about? I've lived in the forest before. See, you don't know what you're talking about. How does it feel, you ask? Because you asking me a question. How does it feel? It feels liberating. No, I understand, because you might think it's difficult, Ken, because we all have been set in places to where we have these accommodations that's brought us far away from being in a natural sense. And it would be very difficult for somebody to try to adjust to being out in the field. Well, the forest is what you said, because I've been out in the field too. Because you gotta remember, I was in the military. And I've been out in the field. I wasn't even in the military when I lived out in the forest. No, I understand these might be trolls, but even trolls needs answers too, because he's asking a question. Have you been double taxed by the U.S. over there? Double taxed. I'm not sure what you mean double taxed. Somebody said forest living is beautiful. Go and call in, Ken. Yeah, I know, man, who lived, let's see here, who lived in the forest for 30 years in complete isolation. He loved it. We got a lot of people who living off, who's dissevered the umbilical cord from the system, who lives in all different types of places. There's people every day doing that. Sherry says, you can't compare the population of 15th century to now. I never compared the 15th century to now. Who's talking about the 15th century? Let's talk about the 19th century. Hello? In 18, what was it? The 18, when Africa's divided into countries, that was in 1880. What was that? I forget the dates now. 1882? Who's talking about the 15th century? Let's talk about currently right now. There's a lot of Africans and people in around the globe who still live off of nature. You got the Aborigines and people, you got the people in New Guinea, you got people that are in these faraway places who live off of nature. It sounds foreign, don't it? That you can't even believe that people can live such a way. Yeah, if you're gonna call in, I'm gonna have to talk to you man to man or man to woman. So I'm gonna have to see your face or what have you. So you just keep that in mind. 1884 Berlin Conference. Okay, thank you very much, Webby Nesh. Let's see what else people got to say. Thank you, Go Black. This was a great message. Hey, Louise, thank you. Appreciate it. If we just open our minds up, maybe, and just unravel some old thinkings, maybe that will free us. Maybe that will free us a little bit, because then you become, instead of dependent upon a system, you become independent and dependent upon the Most High. Then all of a sudden now, like I said before, nobody's talking about you got to quit your job. At least your eyes is open that, oh my goodness, hold up. What Go Black just said is that this is my foundation, which is called my job. This is my house sitting on top of my job, and my car, and everything else. And when the job goes, my whole lifestyle goes. Shouldn't I try to position myself to probably be a little bit more independent? Because like the monkeys that I showed you who were dependent upon those trash cans going to get their food, the day is coming when there will be locks on those lids, and then them animals are not going to be able to get their food. And then what are they going to do? Oh my God. Hey, yo, monk, what's up, dog? Or monkey? What's up, man? We forgot how to go hunt. Where were we going? Where were we going 5 years ago to go get our food? Where was those trees at? I don't know. I forget. Matter of fact, you know what? They tore that area down and built skyscrapers. Do you know any other trash cans around where we can go ahead and get food? I don't know. Man, I don't know. What do you think we're going to do? Look at all this food these people walk around here on the street. We're going to have to go steal. Steal? Where else are we going to be able to get fed? We're going to have to steal the food out of these people's hands. And guess what? There are countries, if you've ever seen the videos, that monkeys will come up and steal your food. Will take it out of your hands and run. Will take your purse and run. They will snatch in all that. Anybody gonna call in? If nobody's gonna call in, hey, this will be a short, because like I said, I will give 15 minutes or so. I'm putting the link back in. What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts? Because, we've talked about several things here. A worker compared to a servant. And many people are proud of being servants. Many people are just proud to have a job that's giving them money, and they don't even realize that you gather your people up, that y'all got land together, and start growing your own food. Then use your gifts and talents that you know, and then you can go ahead and start to sell maybe some of your food and get some of that money that maybe needs to take care of those things that that you want. Or maybe it's that electricity, or get that solar panel, or maybe drill that borehole so you can get your water and get your free solar, your free electricity, and then you become even more independent. So when y'all have those load sheddings, and you can laugh and say, we have continuous light because we use the beautiful natural sun as our means of electricity that we have housed into these battery tanks that will keep this electricity flowing. We have our beautiful solar panel that also uses as a connect to our pump to pump the water up freely from the Mother Earth that the Most High has given us, that is in the ground, that will never run out as long as we do right by nature, that we can go ahead and have water, good water. The link is in the chat, family. Is this making sense? Or am I just the only one out here who's, because I just can't understand how people can get upset at me for having a heart to see his own people. 99.9% of the people who's working in the system can't afford to go and eat and stay at places they work. Is that wrong for me? Is that, I mean, you would think somebody would say, this dude at least has a heart. He found his way and he's doing his thing. But at least, you know what? He's not going to forget that, you know what? This ain't right. Is that right? Thank you. Some people saying it makes sense. This is truth. Look. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, there are people out here then who, okay, that understand. See, these are folks who understand. See, now look at this right here. Now here goes one. See, here goes the one right here. This is people who can't see and want to think in their own mindset. Why does he still speak about animals? He still compares us with monkeys, and he laughed. So I compared you to monkeys. Is that what you got out of it? Do you see, fam? See, do you see? Because East Africa to the world, okay, you're to the world. I compared you to monkeys. I showed you how the monkeys were and how the monkeys are getting relying upon the system. And then I said, hey, now think about this. Are we not compared? Are we not in a situation where we are dependent upon the system? Like the monkeys. I didn't call nobody monkeys. And if I called us monkeys, I'm calling myself a monkey. Because you know what? Let's look at this. Since he said monkey, oh, I got something for you, because I saw this right here in your airport. Now you tell me now, since now you want to go ahead and start. Now you tell me. Now you don't even see this much around where I travel. But look, let me show this right here. Since you want to talk about monkeys, they calling you a monkey. Come on. Let's talk about East Africa. This is right here in your airport. This is where man came from. They saying man came from monkey. This is what they saying. But you don't say nothing about that. See, you rather come on and try to destroy, bro. I don't even know who you are. You could be a European or China or whatever this is, and you could be a bot, whatever you want to call them, whatever they call them. But come on now, let's have the conversation. The link is in the chat. Be man enough or woman enough to have a conversation with me. I had no problem with people disagreeing with me. This is your man, not your boy. I mean, I won't even argue. I'll hear you out. I'll give you your space to go ahead and share. But come on now, come on. You talk about I'm comparing you to monkeys. Hold up. This right here is in South Africa's airport. This is where I saw this at. This right here was in Cape Town's airport. Right there. They saying that you a monkey. I didn't say that. You came from a monkey from what they say. Now, come on. Thank you, Walter. Get them. Exactly. Why? Because these are the idiotic things that when I say something, there are those out there who want to sit there and tell me that you're wrong. But then again, when I show you what others say, you got not a word to say. You ain't got nothing to say. Did he make a response? Where are you at, bro? Let's see. Where are you? You got anything to say about that? See, you want to kind of try to come and stir up stuff, but see, I got it for you. Comparing, if I'm going to compare an African and I'm African to a monkey, then that means I call myself monkey. I don't call myself American for those who wants to know. No, we's family the way I see it. So don't get it twisted and thinking that I'm coming out of America and that I think I'm something beyond than just African. No, I'm African all day long. Let's just look right here, brother. Hello. And if people would get out of their way and realize this brother right here is coming in and sparking some things and to some things that we don't see or what has been said by very few people who's willing to say it. Chimps or whatever primates we are linked to have 99% of our DNA, only 1% difference. That 1% difference makes a difference. And that is a definition by a European who claims that to be. And that 1% difference is what? What's the difference? This is see. Hold on a second. They told you. See, this is what they tell you. You won't believe all that. This is what they told you. The chimp is 99% close to human and only 1% different. I don't care if it's a half a percent or 0.% difference. That chimp is not me. I show you in the scrolls where it says that even that man is above animal. God created it that way. It said man loved animal more than it loved man. For the animals is subordinate to a human being. Link is in the chat. I got 3 more minutes. Yeah, people will tell you anything, and it is amazing when we believe it. It is amazing when we believe it. Somebody say it's actually 2% difference, and every race also has every race has 2% difference between them. It's that it's not about the percentage, how low the percentage of the difference is. That 1% difference is huge. I like to use the analogy, of rat poison. They make rat poison, and 99% of the ingredients in rat poisons is good. But it's the 1% that's poison that kills that rat. Now you tell me, does it even matter what the percentage of the 1% is? Because this 1% is what kills you dead. I am 100% human, 0% chimp. I know that's right. They want to say we come from monkeys, and then have a nerve to want to call a brother the other night a monkey. Wow. I guess that's why people don't get mad, because when you show this to people and then people believe it, and then somebody done called you a monkey and you don't get upset. I get it. I really get it. Those don't claim I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh no, trolls ain't gonna call in. Yeah, right here. This right here is one of the idiotic things. The Europeans have created this quote to say, man's best friend is a dog. Hey, babe, who's my best friend? They can't hear you. She raised her hand. My wife is my best friend. You see, but when you understand culture, I understand why they would say that. Because in European culture, you'll find that woman wasn't considered anything. A dog was greater than a woman. This is history. In the Europeans' culture, if some of y'all would get out and travel and go see, you will see in the arts, and you will see in the poems, and in the statues, and and all these things that women weren't even considered to be. That's why women. That's why a lot of the white women in America was in an uproar when a black man could vote before a white woman. They hated a black man, but they hated their own white woman worse than they hated a black man. Because of a woman. And they rather call a dog their best friend than their own wife. I ain't gonna say all of them. I'm just saying this right here is a great example of how we go around. Hey, man's best friend is his dog. We go around and we repeat that mess. What? Oh, my dog ain't my god dog. That's why you see people out here. I saw it today in the place we went. They want to carry their dogs in the restaurants and stuff, and in the hotels and public places and stuff. A dog. And will feed one before feeding a man who's hungry on the street. Will dress a dog up in clothing and would leave a man naked. Will build a dog's mansion for a dog to live in and wouldn't care about a homeless shelter to save their own lives. And then when I see black folk doing it, it just amazes me. Wow. I forgot. You became acclaimed too, just like them. Everything they do, you got to, so that you feel like you have arrived. There was a day we wouldn't have a dog in the house back in the days. I had a dog when we were growing up. That dog came in that house twice. That dog would stay outside and my mom wouldn't dare let that dog in. And the only reason why that dog came, I think it was twice, is because the winter had gotten so bad that we begged our mother to let our dog come down in the basement because it was shivering and it had icicles on its face. And our mom said, okay, put him down there. He better not come upstairs. But now we sleep with them. We kiss them on the lips. We love them. And you see people even marrying them. Look it up. But then when I talk about the humanity of man and the fair, equitable that should be for God's children, people get mad. When I talk about, hey, leave that system alone. Come on over here to God's kingdom, y'all, because this right here is way better over here. It doesn't mean that you can't work over in this system, but don't be conformed to it. Don't follow it. Don't lose who you are in it. Map Flyer, how are we doing, brother? Multi-faucet, you're gonna have to show your face coming in, please, because I'm requiring everybody to have an engaged conversation face to face. What's happening, my brother?
Yeah, I have nothing to hide, not even my face. I'm good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm well. What you got for me today?
We have a monkey problem, brother. Yeah, I can see you have a monkey. The thing is, we can take the same example with lions. Lions or even gorilla that we see in reserve. When we take them out of the forest and we start feeding them, they actually can't go back to the forest because they don't know how to they don't know how to hunt their prey anymore. They can't feed themselves because outside there it's a survival, and that's what the system has created. We are depending on the system. So the first thing is we have to be accountable of, okay, we were wrong, we allowed the system to trick us, and now we're depending on it. And accountability nowadays, it's more like kryptonite. And I got it from the late brother Kevin Samuel. uh, just to accept that you were wrong and try to fix it's already a lot. You get what I'm saying? That's the first thing. The second thing is, how do people now rely on the Most High, even if they can't even trust each other, the Most High that we've never seen. You get what I'm saying? If you can't trust your brother that you can see, that you can touch, that is visible, palpable, how can you trust the Most High to feed you? And that's the issue that we have today. It's more like, a drug issue. The drug dealer will give you the first thing that will get you hooked for life, if you get what I'm saying. And it's one touch and you're gone. And you're gonna come back. You're gonna do everything to get that shot. And it doesn't stop there. The problem is your body will ask for more. Society is asking for more. So the system is feeding you with something keeping you dependent, and the society outside is asking for more. You have to have more bling, you have to have more money, and it doesn't end. And you just a slave. At the end of the day, we not even he's not even servant or worker. We become slaves of the system.
You're
And
absolutely
as
right,
much
brother.
as it's painful, but that's just the reality.
Hey, you're absolutely right, and I love your analogy as well too. Because um, when you take people out of their natural habitat and put them into a system that we know of today, you become dependent
I can't hear
and
you, my
lose.
brother.
Well, you must be losing connection or something.
Yeah, I can
But
hear you now.
you know what he's saying is that exactly what I was saying with the monkeys. The monkeys, the video that I just showed of the monkeys, and that is hey, you know, they've been forced out of a habitat because civilization comes in, and then now they're left to go ahead and eat off the system. And they will get used to the system and they'll forget how to go hunt their own food. So then that where they're now a subject to the system. And so now what do you do? That's why I'm saying that we have to spiritually now disconnect as far as the reliability or the reliant on the system. Many people say, well, like our brother was saying, I don't know about this God, or, you can't see God and God is not there, this and that. And I'm going to trust something I can't see. You trust a system that you can't see. They told you by going to college for 4 years that you paid your hard earned money, that you would possibly, you're going to get a job. And guess what? Well, I had to learn something about here in Africa, South Africa, that I was told that, you know, you won't even get your degree until you pay off your debt. In America, it's different. You can graduate college and then pay your debt for years. But the notion is that we have this idea: you go to college, and then you're going to go to college, and you're going to get a job in that profession that you studied all those years. And they are talking that there are so many, a high percentage of people who go in a profession to study, that when they come out, they work a total different job beyond than what they got the degree in. And you believe that you was going to get a job. Now, I've heard so many people in here in Africa who talk about they got their degrees in college and they still can't even find a job. But you trusted the system, though. You trusted the system; it would give you a job by going to get your college degree. And you found that not to be true. It's no different than even in America or in some other countries around the world, that even when you start your job, they say you don't get your check until 2 weeks or a month after. And you trust that the work that you're putting in for that 2 weeks or month, that you will see a check that will come in. And we trust them. Now, we know in Africa, in some countries I've been, I've interviewed many people who even in the professional range, even in the government, who claim that don't even, they can go a month, 2 months, 3 months without even getting paid and still working. But you trust the system. Now, my thing is that it's just how the system is. Can't get mad at a system because the system only cares for itself. But at least God's kingdom system, it cares for the people. And I'd rather put my faith and trust and try that faith to see how it looks out for me. I don't care about I ain't never seen and I ain't gonna believe. You ain't never seen most of the things you believe in. But I see God daily. If you're looking with this natural eye, you have been missing it all day long. The Most High presents itself to whomever has the ear to hear and the eyes to see, not the natural, the spiritual. And when you get to that place, then you become a powerful force and being able to live within that means. Because then you can discern when you're being used. taken advantage of, being about to be scammed, you'll be able to see it. Unless your greediness and your own self will and want to put that in front and want to get because of greed or selfishness, or whatever, then that's when you get caught up. Sometimes I stepped into my own place and realized, man, I walked right out of where I was supposed to be, all for the sake of my own fleshly desire. Isn't that true? Links in the chat, family. Links in the chat. Let me go right back here. I think Map Fire. You can put back on your camera, Map Fire. See if we can hear you. You got a better connection. Because we gotta realize that, people every day. A man told me this day before yesterday, how you can get jobs like for the city if you got a contract, or doing the highway. This is what he's pointing out. He said a person will come and kill you if they know who you are and you got that contract, so that they can get. There's people who will kill you if you're a manager and they want your position. I said, yeah, that's what the system will cause people to do. That people will come after you and take your life because they want your position, your job, because they can't move up further. Yeah. You get contracts with government and you whatever. Even like these guys, they walk around with bodyguards and live behind these big walls because they know people are after them because they got that. Like, yeah, makes sense. This is what the world system does. Most definitely. Where are you calling from? And yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Gabon, and I'm calling you from Johannesburg.
Oh, you from Gabon.
Yeah, I'm from
Okay.
Gabon.
Well, good for you. Let me bring in another guest real quick and let him go ahead and speak. Lucky the boss.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. How are you doing?
I'm doing
Lucky
well,
the
sir.
boss.
I'm doing well. Thank you. Have a blessed
Let,
Sunday,
let
everybody, man. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to add
good.
a few things, man, to pretty much everything you just said. And
Sure.
personally, I think that we blacks, not just, Africans, whether you like black from Brazil or black from Haiti or, like Africa, Europe, it's time for us to stop talking about our ancestors and everything that they did, like Shaka Zulu, Mansa Musa, you know, Amenhotep. I mean, a lot of them. They did great things for blacks. Most of the things that they did it so we can remember that they did great things. You know what I'm saying? That they're close to God. But now that we all know, whether you're white or black, we know, even we know that, white people came from us. They agree with that. They know Africa is the motherland. This type of discussions are old now. For us young black, what do we do now? Are we ready to come up with something better than Facebook, where all Africans use it? Do we have something like YouTube? We study abroad. We have a lot of knowledges. You know what I'm saying? So when are we gonna use something that belongs to blacks? I always tell my friends, man, like, yeah, we all talk about our president. They're bad. They're not doing their job. Yes, we know that. The entire world know that. Now, what do we do? I'm sure most countries gonna have election coming up, but most people will get up and go vote. You vote for the same dude that you complain about. So everything is individual. Everything is individual. Everything is individual. You sitting there typing, you watching everybody's talking. Tomorrow is Monday. You're gonna get up and go to work and spend 8 hours there. You see five blacks. They always talk about society. I've around my friends, my black friends, we talk about how we can improve things. But then once we're done talking, everybody go back home. Nobody's trying to do anything. I tell my black friends that I know and I hang out with, like, yo, maybe we can put like $100 a month, $1 a month, just on the side. We not worry about it. We just put it. We meet up every maybe 2 months, 3 months. Basic stuff. See how much we got in there. What can we do with that money? We need some help with bills. What can we do? But then when you talk about it, everybody go back home. They sit back home. They continue with their regular life, praying God and hoping that something happen. God is tired, bro. He is tired. He's not gonna sit there run and just put water in our mouth every day, bro. So it's cool to all sit down and talk about these things. It's beautiful. What's your story? Blacks, what are you living on earth when you're gone? What do you want your kids to say about you personally? Not your president, not your country. Because all this country we have, we talk about the Berlin Treaty or whatever in 1884. We all know all these nations, the names are fake. They're not real names. We're looking for the 12 tribute or tribes or all that. We keep looking. Don't look. What's your personal language you speak back home in Africa? We have our own dialect, our own what we speak. They're all connected. You speak Chewy from Ghana. I'm from the Ivory Coast, if you guys want to know. That's where I'm originally from. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? So I have my people in Ghana too. And people from Chewy that speak Chewy. It's like, it's all messed up, man. And we know how to get back to it. But every election we come, we're gonna go vote. Oh, we don't like this president. I don't like him. Or, but yeah, this guy is better. Let's quit all that shit. What we want to do. So that's what I wanted to bring up today, my brother.
I appreciate that, Lucky the boss. Where you right here in Johannesburg?
Yes, bro.
Okay, all right. Well, it's good to see you and Matt Fire wearing
Nah,
about the
nah,
same
nah. I'm in the
shirt.
US, man. I grew up here.
Oh, okay, you in the US.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm in the US, man. I grew up here, man, but I go back home sometime, in Ivory Coast. I go to Europe. I mean, we can speak deeper, man. A lot of things I can't really be out because, like I say, man, life is so deep and it's individual. Everything we do is individual. Everything. You will be the white person that will ride and die with you because he believes in what you say, and actually because he knows that he has his white, black ancestor and say like DNA and all that shit will ride with you. But then at the same time, you will have a white person that will be so racist, he won't like you at all.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
You know what I'm saying? That
For
you
your
want to do
loyalty and all
business
right there.
with, and he will rip you off. He
So
will spend all your
go
money
black.
because he feels like we're brothers, and he's not gonna do shit, and you're gonna lose money. And then like you're like,
All right.
whoa, I'm thinking like we're brothers, man. We got to do things together. So why you do that? So it started with
Let me say this right here. To Lucky, he just lost his connection. Let me just say this right here, family. I'm not gonna try to twist this at all. I'm gonna keep it real with you. My skin color has nothing to do with me connecting with those who are not first and foremost connected with the Most High. Because your skin color, if you're going to connect with those just off of skin color, you're going to have scoundrels, rats, scammers, robbers, and all that. And if less you can at least have the Most High first and foremost, I'm not trying to connect with you. Why? Why are you gonna put money into a pot of a pot and everybody gonna put money together and you got somebody gonna take the money and run because they have no moral ethics. You have somebody who wants to build communities and all that right there, but nobody's standing on the Most High. And let me say to my brother, Lucky the boss, he said some things and all right there. God never gets tired. God is a spirit. God ain't no man that
That's
gets
cool.
exhausted.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, well, yeah. God is not no man that he shall lie. God is a spirit, the most high, the powerful source, the energy that exists that has created all things. Tired. Now I know that it's said that God rested on the seventh day. So people might even take the rest as it meant that he was tired. No, it's a day that we do understand that even us in the human flesh need to give a respect and honor of the creation by at least acknowledging that which was created in the fold of a 7 day period to keep that holy. So that is that, but not by the means of an energy that's spent on being tired and all that right there. Now, I'll say this right here, and I'm gonna get back to you, Matt Fire, that this system that many of us have put our energy, our life into. I'm saying, brothers and sisters, that let's put things back in perspective. Because just like Lucky the Boss even was saying, that many people gonna go vote. And then when you bring in another person in, they be president or they be your mayor, they be your governor, they be your state representative, whatever, then you complain about them. Then you bring in another party, then you bring in another party, and you got everybody up here always arguing, fussing, and fighting about why they ain't doing. How about you be the God that you were called to be and an established between you and your small circle to rise up and be that example so that your children who understands the most high, who walked in the most high, who got to experience the most high, might be that one who has that moral ethic of becoming maybe the leader of that country or that city or what have you. Matt Fire, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question to you is how do we, go back to the most high? You have a lot of people hearing,
Yeah.
I'm a believer, but that's the question that I have for you. How do we go back to the most high? Because that's the only way that we can get things right. People want to change the system, but they can't even change their neighbor. They can't even change, within their family, the brothers, the sister. For those with kids, they can't even, you want to change the whole world out there, but your own world, you can't even impact it. You can't impact your children. You can't impact your wife, because by doing so, they're going to impact the co-worker, for the kids, the student at school, their friends, etc. And you're already making a change. A change is not the million bucks change, because to get a million bucks you actually need to have one of a million. So you start with one time million. That's when you get the million. So how do we go back, to the most high,
Yeah.
according to you, with the knowledge that you're sharing with us?
I can only share my experience. And also, I can attest by even understanding the ancient writings, the scrolls, the scriptures that some may call, of this whole thing that's called repent and come back unto the knowledge of the Most High. And that is where one can, at least in their own private place, that can go before spiritually before the Lord and acknowledge their wrongdoings. Acknowledge that, you know what, I've been living my life putting all my trust into man, putting my trust into these systems and all that right there. I'm going to try you. That's called repentance. That when I came out of the world, the place of darkness, I knew nothing about no God. The only thing I cried out before I was about to commit suicide was, if there is a God, help me. And that presence that became upon me, that place of peace that hit me, that kept me still for a moment and able to grow into the things of the Most High, it happened to me. And so I can speak off of that experience of that. You looking at a guy who was rugged and rough, that was living out there in the streets, was doing everything that was contrary to the light and the life of God, to where I cried out because I reached my end of my road, and I had to acknowledge the ways that I was living was very detrimental to me. That's why my whole life was in a negative sense. That's why everything I touched failed. Everything that I thought was negative, everything that I was doing was no good. It all failed. And when I was blaming everybody but myself in the four walls crashing down upon me, I had to acknowledge I was in the wrong side of life. That was in the dark side of life. That's what I did. And that's what I would recommend each person to do. To come out of a system is to go back to God, is to at least acknowledge, one, there is, two, at least admit that you stood in a place of being wrong, and be shown those things of God. And believe me, it shall be. Yeah.
to get to that level of acknowledgement, you need humility, right? There is
Say that
no
again.
way. There is no way, and that's the issue that we have today. The Bible says God resists the proud and give reward to the humble.
I can't hear
It,
you.
you can come. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Even if even if you come to that knowledge, but if you don't have humility, you won't be able to now go back to God, go down on your knees, and you know. Okay, let me just try to fix it.
Well, I'll say family this right here. All right. I'm gonna put the link in since we got people who's calling in. The um the link is in. How does one break and sever the ties from the system? And we're talking about the sever the ties of the system of the faith in the system. Though you may be working in a system, the scriptures, the ancient writings say, be not conformed to it, but by the renewing of your mind, the transform of the renewing of your mind, that you're able to prove what is good. Because see, the system tells you what's good or bad, and we fall into it. That's why we see people do and act the way they do. They've gotten so far from the things of the Most High that they believe that the system and what it pushes out. Now, what's the system? System is just not the government, it's everything around you. It's your schools, it's your churches, it's everything that is, it's your neighbors, it's everywhere you go, it's in the stores, it's everywhere you go. The system is all around us. It's in the TVs, it's in the music, it's in the magazines, it's all of this bull crap that we as a people have subscribed to, those who come up with all this stuff for us to follow and believe and have faith in, that we lose the very thing that we are. But with that, I'm gonna have to come to a close. There ain't nobody else is gonna call in. So I thank each and every one of you all. And I'm saying that because I'm gonna come back and do another show, because there's something that even we need to understand, that when it comes to how you get sucked into a system, which I'm going to read in these ancient writings, that it's mighty funny that even in the ancient writings, the days of old, how those were writing could share the stories that are identical to what we're going through today. How man fell and would follow a system that was full of lies, that has caused devastations to many of people, to all really. So with that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. Catch y'all on the next round.